Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue. Today I'm down the shore right outside of Avalon at beautiful Union League National Golf Club. And our guest, none other than UConn women's basketball coach Geno Auriemma. Geno has won a record 11 national championships, 2 Olympic gold medals. He's a Philly guy. Well, Norristown, it's close enough. And he loves not just basketball, but the game of golf. Geno Auriemma from beautiful Union League National, and it's coming up next on Inside Golf. The 27th season of Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf, the First Tee of Greater Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Association of Golf Course Superintendents, the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, Jersey Man and Philly Man Magazine, and Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia section of the PGA.
Golf is the great equalizer. For many, this journey is an escape from reality, a chance to be part of a team, a career opportunity. PGA Reach impacts lives through golf by lifting people up, giving them hope, and sending them down an alternate path that they never saw coming. With PGA Reach Philadelphia, as in life and in golf, the most important shot you take is the next one.
The Golf Association of Philadelphia. Founded in 1897, GAP is the nation's oldest regional or state golf association. We serve amateur golf in Eastern PA, Southern New Jersey, and all of Delaware. GAP welcomes all golfers, junior or senior, male or female, public or private. Join the Golf Association of Philadelphia today. Our mission is always to preserve, protect, and promote the great game of golf. Before you tee it up, look us up. Visit gapgolf.org to find out more.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. We're here at beautiful Union League National right outside of Avalon, New Jersey, talking with, I know you get called this a lot, a legend. You're tired of hearing that, right? I always tell people.
I don't hear it around a golf course.
Well, I don't know about that. Geno Auriemma, folks. Norristown guy, born in Italy, came to Norristown, what, at the age of 7?
Yeah, 7.5, yeah.
And you know the saying, you can take this guy out of here, but you can't take that out of that guy. Well, that's him. You can take Geno out of Norristown, but you can never take Norristown out of Geno Auriemma.
I think that's a Philly thing, you know. Like I think you take anybody within the Philadelphia area, and they've got a certain something that sticks with them.
And never leaves them and impacts whatever they're doing.
Exactly.
Geno, 85 was your first year at UConn as the women's basketball coach. You've won 11 national championships, 8-time coach of the year, 2-time gold medal winner as coach of the U.S. women's team in the Olympics, 2-time world championship, the women's competition, Hall of Famer, 2006, and the list goes on of accomplishments. But before we get to that, getting back to Norristown, do you remember the first time you picked up a basketball?
It had to be 6th or 7th grade. I never made any kind of basketball team until I was in 8th grade. But no, I spent all my time playing baseball, you know. And so, yeah, basketball just became something I did because my friends were playing. Give it a shot.
You played in high school, did you? At Bishop Kenrick?
Yeah, I played for Bud Gardler.
Buddy Gardler.
Yeah.
A legendary Philly Catholic League coach.
Legendary coach in Philadelphia, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
A lot of what Buddy taught you, you're still passing on now in your Hall of Fame career?
Yeah, I think Bud influenced a lot of guys that went into basketball, stayed in basketball. And, you know, things get passed down. He was at St. Joe's during the Ramsey McKinney era, you know, mid-'60s. And he brought that kind of toughness to Bishop Kenrick, and every kid that played there took all that with them everywhere they went.
You went to Westchester, played basketball at Westchester?
No, I didn't play. I didn't play there. I played at Montgomery County Community College for 2 years, and when I went to Westchester, actually, is when I started coaching. So I would drive from Westchester up to McDevitt
In Glenside.
In Glenside, Bishop McDevitt, and coached with Jim Foster.
Another
Philly
big-time
guy,
legend guy in women's basketball.
Who then became the head coach of St. Joe's, and then I went with him to St. Joe's, and I was there, and that's when Phil said, "Come work with me at Kenrick to coach the boys," and that's what I did.
Okay, and eventually you wound up at University of Virginia.
Yeah,
that was in I think '81.
'81.
As an assistant coach, the head coach was
Debbie Ryan, another Philly person. She went to Ursinus.
Right,
yeah.
And another tremendous Hall of Fame career, Debbie Ryan.
Yep.
And then it took off. '85, you got a job, your first head job at UConn.
Yeah.
And what was that like? Why did they hire Geno Auriemma?
Well, things have to fall in place. One of the first things that happened was the athletic director of Virginia, Dick Schultz, was the president of the NCAA. And the athletic director at Connecticut was a former president of the NCAA. So that was a good intro. And another Philly legend, Jim Lynam, had been the coach at Fairfield years and years before that. So it just kind of
the whole network,
the whole thing
came together and it supported you.
Yeah, it was just one giant, coming together of the whole Philadelphia basketball community. And
that's a big step, though.
And then a lot of people didn't want the job because it was such a bad job.
At UConn.
Oh, yeah, it was such a bad job. Nobody wanted it. I think it was me, two other college coaches, and a high school coach, I think, were the finalists.
So you had no place to go. The program had no place to go but up.
Exactly.
You had a losing season that first year.
They had been like 9-19 for 4 years in a row.
Okay.
So, that's impossible to do, right? I don't know. I keep saying this all the time. I don't know which came first, the 9 wins or the 19 losses. But when they got to one of those two numbers, they stopped, right? And I got the job in May, so there was no portal at the time. You couldn't, so you were going to coach exactly what was there. And I thought those kids were great. We started off 7-0, and they all thought we were going to the NCAA tournament, right? And then we went like 1-10, something like that the rest of the way. But it was one of the more fun years that I had,
right?
Coaching.
And it didn't kill you in a sense that, like, what did I do coming up here or anything? Get my career started? I mean, that could be a career ender too.
Yeah. If you didn't have the right mindset, but everybody knew it was going to be bad, but we also knew it was going to be good. And it's funny that we're doing this, and it's a Philly thing. The whole program turned around in '88. So we got 85, 86, 86, 87. Then 88, we brought in 5 kids from the Philly area who all played AAU together and came up there, and boom, the whole thing. We
started to turn around.
And we won the Big East Championship with 7 freshmen on the team. Exactly.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back to talk about, once it got started, it took off like a rocket ship, thanks to Geno Auriemma. We're at Union League National at the Shore. We're back in just a moment.
Hi, Tony Salucci with the Beacon Group of Companies. If your company has between 50 and 500 employees enrolled in your health insurance plan, there's a really good chance we can reduce your costs significantly and increase the benefits employees receive. How do we do it? We put you together with several thousand employers of a similar size across the country, so your company can get amazing buying power. Schedule a conversation with one of our employee benefits specialists today at mybeacongroup.com.
Welcome back. Inside Golf continues. We're sitting here at Union League National with Geno Auriemma, the Hall of Fame coach of the women's team at UConn. We're going back in history a little bit, and we're trying to bring it up to the present. 40 years this guy's been the head coach of women's basketball.
Yeah, but I can't be a member here at Union League because you got to be a legend to be a member here. You know, Harry, Jay Wright, you know, Jim Lynam. You know, you gotta, you know.
Yeah, well,
I'm not quite there.
You're working at it, Coach.
But I'm trying. I'm gonna try to win one more championship and apply again. See if they'll let me in.
Yeah, right. You do that. That may be the tipping point. That may be the tipping point. We talked in that first segment, Geno, about when it started to turn around, and since then it has taken off, and the game has changed. But you know, you talked, or you coached rather, several women who have been All-Americans. 27, I think, is the list. You've had 7 players who have named Player of the Year, and a couple of them have done it like 3 times.
Yeah.
Why did they want to come to Storrs, Connecticut to play for Geno Auriemma? I mean, winning, they could win probably anywhere they went, these girls. But they wanted to play for you.
Well, in the beginning, we couldn't get those players. In the beginning, you know, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, we were winning with kids that were a little bit under the radar, you know, that they weren't being recruited by the schools that were winning a lot. So it was a chance for them to get in on the ground level and say, okay, I want to help build something. And, you know, what do you have to sell? You don't have the facilities, the school doesn't have a reputation, you know. So what do you have to sell? You just say, hey, look, I'm going to give you a chance to play and build something from the ground up, and you want to play for me or not? You know, that's basically what it came down to. And Chris Daly, my assistant, was a great recruiter. But it wasn't until 1990, 91 that Rebecca Lobo grew up an hour from campus. She was the National Player of the Year, and we got her to come to UConn. After that, then we were able to recruit a higher level player. And then after our first national championship in 1995 with a bunch of local kids, then we were able to recruit anybody in the country. So that's when it started. 91, but it really took off in 95 after our first national championship.
Right, and there for a stretch there, you won, I think, 111 consecutive games.
I know.
Back-to-back national championships. I mean, it was the brand for women's college basketball, and then the pressure to win, but I guess it wasn't that difficult, or was it?
Well, during that time when Connecticut and Tennessee were the 2 big names in women's basketball, that game was the one game that everybody in the country would watch, whether they were a women's basketball fan or not. And what ended up happening was, if you were a kid and you were one of the top 5 players in America, you were going to either Tennessee or Connecticut.
One or the other.
One or the other. And then winning, and then we won so much, like you're saying, 111 in a row, 4 national championships in a row, blah, 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 blah. 14 Final Fours in a row, that I made a comment one time. I said, the only thing worse than losing is winning all the time. Because if you win all the time, then people think that you should never lose. And they almost forget that there's another team that you're playing, and that's why we're keeping score, so that whenever we did lose, it was, what's wrong with UConn?
What happened to UConn?
Exactly. Not like, hey, the other team played great. It's like, you're not allowed to lose. It's like when Tiger didn't win. Remember, if Tiger didn't win a tournament, the next day in the paper, it would be Tiger loses. And at the bottom of the page, this is who won the golf tournament. So it was, you know, it was that
90% of the article is what's wrong with this guy.
That's right.
The game has changed so much. It's impacted the men, the women, everything, with NIL, with the transfer portal. It'll never come back to where it was when you started, even 5 years ago, right?
No.
So how have you adjusted? As I say, you're going into your 40th year now as the head coach. How have you adjusted to these monumental changes, Geno, that has gone 180 in terms of what the game was as opposed to what it is, and going down the road what it will be?
I don't know that I've adjusted as well as, let's say, if I was 35 or 40 years old. If I hadn't had all this behind me, maybe it's easy to adjust. But I've been doing this for so long, a certain way, that I've had to make a few changes. I've had to, you know, tweak a couple things. But I've tried to hold on to exactly the way we've done it. And that kind of makes us an outlier. So instead of becoming like everybody else, we had to become sort of like everybody else.
Right.
But we didn't have to jump into the deep end of the pool like everyone else that's trying to build a program, that's trying to get to the level that we've been. So I don't know that anyone likes it, except here's how you like it. You get fired, you take over a new job, you go in the portal, you bring in 7 guys, and you win right away. That's different than it used to be. But it'll never go back to the innocence, to the, hey, I'm going to go to college and play because I want to get that experience, get a great education, go play. Now it's semi-pro, and it's play, and it's pay for play.
Sure.
And it's become no different than a 17-year-old golfer, tennis player that doesn't even go to college, goes right to the pros.
Right.
That's what it's become, except under the pretense of they go to class.
I guess, and this may be simplistic, but the pendulum, the ball has swung. It, for years, was a coach's game.
Yeah.
It has now become a player's game
100%,
more and more.
100%.
We're going to take a break. We have so much to talk about with Geno, not just basketball, but golf. I mean, we're here at beautiful
That's
Union
right.
League National. We got to talk about his other passion,
That's
the
exactly
game of
right.
golf.
That's
Back
exactly right.
with the great Geno Auriemma in just a moment here on Inside Golf. Welcome back. Inside Golf continues with Geno Auriemma. We're here at Union League National down outside of Avalon. Beautiful course. Great to see Geno, who has his ties to the Jersey Shore area, likes to vacation down here. We're always glad you have a chance to stop by and talk a little hoops and a little golf.
Yeah.
Before we get to golf, we talked a little bit about the changes in the game. I read something that you said, I'm not quoting here, but one of the things that keeps you going is that you like players that you recruit, and they most of them like you. They want to play with you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you have that. When you lose that,
Yeah.
then you'll decide to say, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. You have to enjoy the day-to-day, the process every day. It can't just be about winning. Winning is not enough to satisfy or to, fill that void that comes from every day. You're trying to put something together, and if it's only to win, that's only 1 day a week or 2 days a week. Like the rest of the time, you have to enjoy it. You have to enjoy the people that you're with. So as long as we keep getting the kind of kids that I want to coach, that I enjoy being around off the court, there's a lot worse. Believe me, I worked at Ellenwood Steel. I worked construction with my father's, Italian guys. I drove a truck. I've worked hard for a living. I'm not sure that this is really hard work.
Right. Yeah.
What I'm doing.
You have that blue collar background.
Yeah.
And you brought a lot of that to your professional career. And, it's not every player 12 months of the year, whatever, all the practice sessions.
Listen,
Did you ever throw a girl out of practice?
I used to do it all the time. It was like something that I look forward to sometimes.
Really?
Because,
like if they weren't doing what you were saying?
Like some kids, the best players especially, they push the envelope, they don't just come and go, yes, coach, yes, coach, yes, coach. That's not what makes them great. What makes them great is they think they're smarter than you. They think they have a better way of doing things than you. And I love that. And there comes a time when, they cross the line and you have to, and they know coach is doing this to teach me a lesson.
Right.
But more importantly, he's doing this to teach the team a lesson, that if he's willing to throw me out, what's he going to do to me?
Right.
So it was a great learning experience for all. But today, that doesn't happen as often. I miss it.
All right, let's shift gears a little bit. Since we're here at the Union League National, let's talk a little bit about the game of golf and where does that fit in with you as successful as you are as a college women's basketball coach. When do you get time to play, and how much do you love the game?
Well, I don't get as much time to play as I want. And if I was smart at my age, I would be playing every day like you. I would be playing
There we
every day,
go.
right? And instead, my time comes in you know, end of the season. May, I get to play a little bit. June, I get to play a little bit. July, hardly at all. August, a lot, except that I'm down here on vacation. You don't want to play every day because you're down here with your family, you know.
And now you have a grandchild.
And then you got grandkids. But if somebody said to me, you had to play golf for a living every single day, I would think that'd be like dying and going to heaven.
Right.
Because I love the practice. You know, I love being out on the course. I love the camaraderie of everything. I think one of the things that competitive people love about golf is you can never be great at it. You can be really good at it. You can be good at it for long stretches, but you will never be great at it because the minute you think you are, you're right back to square one.
Right.
And I think that's what keeps everybody coming back over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I find it fascinating. I think it's one of the most fascinating that, you know, you can hit a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, but you can't hit a ball sitting right there in front of you, not moving.
On a tee.
On a tee.
You do a pretty good. I kidded a little bit about in our previous show when I teased the fact that you were going to be on our show this week about your handicap. Now you have been a single-digit handicap guy, so he's got game, and I've played with you enough to know you have one of the smoothest swings in the world. Doesn't always go where you want it to go, but what does?
No,
right?
No,
so, but you
no.
got game at your age, and you know, you're in great shape. And
but I enjoy it.
You get around. You know the way.
Yeah, as long as, like I had a stretch for a couple years where I didn't want to play anymore because I got into a bad habit and I just couldn't get myself out of it. And now I know what my players go through when all of a sudden they can't make a shot. You know, nothing's going right. I mean, I just could not find my way out of, and no matter how much I tried, I couldn't figure it out, and I didn't want to play. And now I figured it out, not 100%, but now I love coming out here and I love playing.
All right, we'll be back. We're going to wrap it up with Geno, talking about his life, legendary career, Hall of Famer, and a couple more minutes with Geno Auriemma. We are at Union League National, at the shore, and back with more of Inside Golf in a moment. Monco All Access is brought to you by the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board.
For this week's Monco All Access, we visit Jeffersonville Golf Club in Norristown, Pennsylvania.
You know, we really try to give people a special experience when they come here. In 2001, the golf course went under a renovation funded by the township to restore it to its original design that Don Ross had back in 1934. Every hole here is unique just because of the way Don Ross has designed everything. I mean, for a golf course, as you can see behind us, it does average about 50,000 rounds a year. You would never know that from the conditions. So we have a really good superintendent in Rich Silling and our PGA professional, Mike Housley, that really take care of this golf course and really, you know, want people to feel like you're playing at a country club for a day. So this new facility really is a modern facility that kind of pays tribute to the history of the course. And what we did was really try to create a facility that caters to the golfers and the non-golfers. We have a larger pro shop than we've ever had before. We have a pre-function room, a brand new banquet facility that sits 250 people, and a standalone full-service restaurant for the golfers and the non-golfers of the community. The basement of the building also has our cart storage, but it also has 6 TrackMan simulators with a fully stocked bar downstairs. I definitely think municipally owned courses are helpful for the game, and also what it makes to the community. Like we want to bring back the first tee program here and really start getting the youth back into the game of golf. I definitely think we try to cater to every aspect of the game.
For more on golf and other fun things to do all around Montgomery County, PA, check out valleyforge.org. We'll see you next time on Monco All Access. For the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board, I'm Rachel Riley.
When you vacation in Montgomery County, PA, your money worries get a vacation too.
Oh, you gotta get your value.
Feel free to explore the soldiers' huts.
Free?
$4, that's it? Keep the lettuce coming, Diane.
Parking is free!
Hey, it's free!
With so many affordable things in Montgomery County, go ahead. Freak out.
Well, it's been a pleasure today to talk here with Geno Auriemma at Union League National. It doesn't get any better. There's a little time off from his basketball world. 40 years now, new contract, I know. How about that? This guy's been around for 40. They want to give him, what, at least 5 more?
5 more, they said.
But seriously, between you and I and
Yeah.
maybe a couple people watching,
Yeah.
when's it going to end?
Tomorrow. Could end tomorrow. But I think as long as I'm doing it in a way that the people at school want me to do it, my players, I still connect with them. I still have an impact with them. Wake up in the morning and I can't wait to get there. I think once that goes away, then it's time to put it away. And there have been times when I was kind of really close to that, but never enough to walk away from it.
Right.
Not yet.
So
Not
the
yet.
fire's still lit. And,
yeah, there is.
Obviously, it's still lit among a lot of young women who are coming out of high school.
Yeah.
And it's Geno Auriemma. And 4
Well,
years
we signed the
at
number 1
UConn.
player in the country this year. It's going to be a freshman in September. We're involved with the 2 of the top players in the country next year. So it's not like all of a sudden, I don't want to play for that old guy. I think I have a perspective that a lot of these young coaches don't have. And, I don't talk their language. I don't dress their language. But I think they enjoy what I have to say.
Right. Well, you have a culture
That's
that
right.
stands at the top of the list, not just in women's college basketball, but in intercollegiate athletics. When you say Geno Auriemma, it's winner, it's doing it the right way, he still has the fire. Geno, thank you, my friend.
Thanks, Harry.
Want to go out and play some golf now, maybe? Yeah, we'll squeeze it in.
A couple birdies today will be better than winning a national championship.
I don't know about that. He's 11 going on 12, folks. And I have a little thing up here that tells me we could be seeing number 12 pretty soon. I hope so, because, yeah, he does still deserve it.
That's
because
right.
he's that kind of a guy. Thanks, Geno.
Thanks,
That's
Harry.
it for Inside Golf. Thanks to the folks here at Union League National for their hospitality, beautiful surroundings to talk not just golf, but basketball with the master, Geno Auriemma. I'm Harry Donahue. Golf's a great game. Just asked Geno Auriemma. He loves it. We'll be back next week with more of Inside Golf. Take care. The 27th season of Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf, the First Tee of Greater Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Association of Golf Course Superintendents, the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, Jersey Man and Philly Man Magazine, and Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia section of the PGA.